Things that never get old when you're living a travel lifestyle and you get to be out in nature and wake up to all of this. This is my backyard. You can hear the cars. So there's definitely some street noise. But you know, this is one of my favorite times of day. Right after the sun comes up and it starts to get warm. And I feel so much like I'm out here, you know, with my legs dangling off the tailgate, and I can feel the warmth of the sun on my feet and my legs. And it's not too hot. There's no wind today. It's just perfect weather, and for the most part, a beautiful feeling of stillness and silence most of the time, except for the street noise. Just looking at nature, I see a lot of wildlife just looking out. You know, this is my viewfinder is opening up the back of my camper van or camper shell, and just seeing what there is to see. And if I park at a different angle, I'll see something else. If it's bad weather outside, I probably won't see anything. I'll just be staying inside like it's a cave. But if I lived in a house or an apartment still, you know what? I wouldn't be outside at all. I would be inside trying to regulate the temperature with some thermostat on the wall, either trying to make the temperature go up or down all day and all night. And now I basically just change clothing throughout the day as it goes from hot to cold. So probably around noon, 1 o'clock, because it's after the equinox in 2024. And it is starting to get a lot hotter in the day. And that's when I'll have to change clothes into something, you know, short sleeve, very lightweight, nothing too close to the body, just, you know, trying to stay cool. And then at night, once the sun goes down, I'm going to be adding layers and getting under a lot of covers in order to stay warm. But, you know, I'd rather do that than not know what's going on outside at all, which is how I felt most of the time living inside a house or an apartment. Is a lot of times, you know, you take a brief look out the window, or maybe, you know, you're even working near a window, but how often are you actually looking out? What kind of a view do you have? Is it just of all the other houses, the other apartments, a brick wall, you know, the trash cans, whatever it is? Just because you're looking out a window doesn't necessarily mean you have a great view. And that's why a lot of people, I think, are addicted to their smartphones, or would rather watch a video or a movie, is because it's maybe better to them than what they're seeing and hearing right in front of them every single day that's real. And I just watched a bunch of videos about deep fakes just to kind of catch up on that issue, and just, how just about anything can be AI generated now. And for all I know, somebody could be taking this is my real face, and I think it's the danger that every authentic host or narrator of their own video has to deal with. That concern is, anyone can basically take a screenshot or take your face, your body, your countenance, and Photoshop it 10 ways from Sunday. It's, like Photoshop on steroids. What's coming on the market now for, it's essentially, what animated movie production companies have been using for years is coming out on to the free market to some degree. And are we all going to be satisfied with just looking at avatars of ourselves in the future? Or is there still going to be that need for something real? Like, this is unscripted. I'm not on any of those open, sources for, I don't even want to mention their names, because I've researched enough about them that I still feel that authentic connection and video hosting is really where people can find real connection. And hopefully feel like they're talking to a real person with real thoughts and feelings, a real personality that's going to come through. Probably good, bad, and ugly. Might be some things you like, and that's why you keep watching. Might be some things you don't like, and maybe that makes you quit watching. And that's your prerogative. That's all of our prerogatives. We pick things up and we put things down as needed. It's just what gives us that sense of connection, and maybe even a thrill or a laugh or a feeling of, I don't know, I could hang out with that person. So it's a lot to think about. I am trying to keep my life focused on essentials and filling up my view screen, basically what I can see with these two real eyes through these glasses, which I have had these glasses for years, and I'm probably need to get a new prescription by now. But what's most important, even if maybe my vision could be a little bit crisper if I did go and get my eyes checked and got a new prescription, which I used to do every couple of years, and now I've kind of just, I don't know. I haven't been that thrilled about I guess just having other people look at my my systems. I feel like I'm doing good. My eyesight is crisp enough with these for now. And I am concerned a little bit about, what happens when wearing big VR type tech on your face, where that's going. Because I just watched a bunch of videos about that too. And apparently it's not real friendly for people who actually wear glasses to see, because they're nearsighted, farsighted, or have presbyopia or something else, or a combination of all those things, or whatever they have going on optically. And that's a lot of people that wear glasses. And a lot of people I love my glasses as just a fashion statement or an accessory. I think I look more interesting with my glasses. And it's such a total 180 from how I felt when I was a kid, when I was so self-conscious and I was being bullied and called Four Eyes in like the first and second grade, because I was that young when I got my first pair. And it was only after, the teachers noticed that I would always move up to the front of the class because I couldn't see. I couldn't see the blackboard. And so they were blackboards back then. I guess maybe they're probably all whiteboards by now, but back in the day, in the 70s when I was in elementary, yeah, I remember distinctly having to always, I would get out of my seat. I didn't want to be that kid that sat in the front row. I was, usually in the second, third, or back row. Not the type of kid that really wanted to, I don't know. I just wasn't like trying to sit in the front row. But I would physically move up. I would get out of my seat and sit on the floor in front of the front row. And the teacher's finally like, well, why are you doing that? Go back to your seat. And I'm like, but I can't see. And that's what got me into my first pair of glasses, is just, instead of faking it like, oh yeah, I can see, and because I couldn't follow along and learn unless I did move up. And now that I think about that memory, kind of sounds like a metaphor for my whole life. Didn't really want to be in the front, but I couldn't see in the back. So I moved up. And then somebody's like, why are you doing that? You should be there. Go back to your seat. I'm like, but if I don't do this, I can't see. And that got me into my first pair of glasses. And once I got them, then I wouldn't wear them because they called me Four Eyes. And that was so detrimental to my mental health that I would take my glasses to school and I would stay in the back in one of my, the back rows. And sometimes I would put my glasses on, but I would like look around and like, oh, is anybody noticing that I've got my glasses on? I had such self-consciousness. I cannot tell you how, like, what a psychological operation that was, all that bullying on my mind, because I was in the second grade when I first got glasses, And I did not get contact lenses until I was like a freshman in high school. And for that entire period of time, I would not wear my glasses, and I had them. I wouldn't even wear them at home. I just learned, I think it made me a more auditory person because I really did not have good vision. Getting contact lenses changed my life. And I used to wear contacts for most of my adult life until I was in my early 40s. And then I realized, I've got dry eye, I've got all these, things that, I've had eye infections and stuff, mainly just from wearing contacts and something so, like touching your eyeballs. And I realized that wearing the glasses was so much healthier. And I could still see it, and I just gradually got used to wearing them more and more. I guess I was the type of person, as soon as I would get home from work, I would take my contacts out and immediately put my glasses on. So I was wearing contacts about half the time and glasses the other half of the time. But for me, being authentic and healthier has meant wearing my glasses full time. And in the same way, me living a lifestyle, embracing mobility and travel, and what really makes me feel connected and makes me feel happy has changed so much. And I just feel like, it's these lifestyle changes that make all the difference. And even doing one thing that is really your true authentic self. And it might mean overcoming a lot of past trauma, programming, people telling you that you shouldn't do that, or that's not normal, that's not mainstream, bullying you, telling you that, that doesn't, it wasn't that people would tell me that I didn't look good with glasses. I don't know, when the kids called me Four Eyes and laughed, it was like, as a kid, it was just a big feeling of rejection. And also, as a growing up female, I also took it as, because I was getting all these, this messaging around what you should look like as a female. And so, and that, basically you're a commodity as a female, rated on a scale from 1 to 10 on your attractiveness or whatever. And I felt like the glasses were inhibiting me in my duty to be pretty for other people. And I really didn't like that either, but I was such a slave to it. Like, that was already indoctrinated somehow. Like, be pretty for other people. And I didn't like it, but I didn't know what to do about it. And I didn't wear my glasses. And I was like bumping into walls sometimes, I was actually very athletic up until the age that I got the glasses and my eyesight started changing. And then I would go to the PA classes and I wouldn't be able to see. like I couldn't see the ball anymore, it's dodgeball. It's like, I can kind of see it, but I just, it changed my reaction time, and basically kind of how I exercise. So it affected a lot of different things. Just that one piece of like your eyesight, and you think about your eyes and how they are the portals to your soul, I believe. Yet how often do we really make direct eye contact with each other or strangers? I think the average acceptable time to make any eye contact with people in public is about 2 seconds. And if you stare or you look at each other much longer, it can make other people feel something. Either, if you smile and it's a friendship signal, great. Some people can take it as aggressive or like, why are you staring at me? Other people might take it as, oh, they're into me, is this a romantic gesture? So you have to be kind of careful with eye contact. I think that's why a lot of people like watching content online, is because I'm obviously making a lot of content or eye contact with my camera phone, imagining the viewer on the other end and how I would be talking to someone as a friend, someone that I enjoy talking to. So right now you could say, talking into my phone like this, I'm enjoying talking to myself. And that's how every single person that is making content in a video format is doing, is they're talking into a cam. You are talking to a camera. There is actually beyond this camera, no one behind it. I'm looking at my beautiful natural landscape. But if we did practice long eye gazing, which actually is a thing, eye gazing, think about that. When was the last time you actually gazed deeply into the eyes of your best friend or your significant other, your spouse, your child, your mom, your dad, and really, connected with them with both eyes? And it's really a powerful tool, but it can be uncomfortable until you maybe really know someone. And yet people that are in close proximity often are not speaking to each other, looking directly into each other's eyes, because they're around each other all the time. And the people you're around all the time, typically you're kind of, to some degree, they're always going to be there, and just, trying to take that for granted. So, we say a lot of things, not looking each other even in the face, kind of looking down, or we're doing something else, we're multitasking instead of giving people our full attention. Well, right now, thinking about the audience that this could be reaching and what they might be getting out of just looking into my eyes, that is my attention. That is my focus. I'm sending you some love right now. And some smiles and some food for thought. And I would like to do whatever I can to help people navigate their reality, or what they're making out of this reality, because so much is changing in the world, and I think we all need that sense of connection. And I hope you will connect, and I hope that you enjoy this and my my unscripted talks, because I'm not somebody who can always read from like a script. I would prefer not to. It just feels too canned. And so I might be talking a little slower. You might be getting some, like real expressions and micro expressions and stuff from my natural personality, just like a friend would be picking up on all of those things. And I guess, either you like it or you don't, but here's the truth of it. Here's one thing that it's not. It's not fake. It's not fake. And that's more than I can say for a lot of things that I've seen in the media. How do you feel? Is that your experience? That's what I want to know, because it's not just about what I think. I already know what I think. I've got a lot of opinions, and you know what they say about those. So I'm happy to share my thoughts and feelings and opinions, which seem very important and real to me. But I'm also, like we all are, traveling souls in it together, traveling spaceship Earth. Whether you live on grid or off grid, I don't care. You're traveling. You're walking, that's travel. You're in a wheelchair, that's travel. Living in your vehicle, that's travel. Your RV, living in a house or an apartment, you're traveling to whatever places you go, or you're moving around your house. It's all travel. We are all traveling souls. And let's do it with soul. And that's my message.